Hi, my name is Kai Armstrong. I'm the product manager for the editor group in the create stage of the DevOps lifecycle here at GitLab. And I'm here today to talk about the 13.5 release for GitLab and what the editor group has coming up. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. We'll hop through a few things. Some of it we've covered before, some of it we haven't. So I'm excited to share some of this. So looking at the board for 13.5, you'll notice sort of the first thing up on here is manual testing for the multi-file snippet feature. We've been talking about snippets with multiple files for what feels like far too many months and far too many release cycles at this point, but we're in a testing phase now. All of the code has been merged. We can check down here in the issue board. So almost all of the code that's required has been merged. We're just going to be doing some testing to make sure that things work as expected. And then we'll be toggling this on probably during the course of the 13.5 release for GitLab.com for specific groups and users, and then hopefully to all of GitLab.com, and it'll be enabled by default for inside of the 13.5 self-managed release. So I know we've talked about this a lot. I'm not going to jump into screenshots to show you what things might look like, but suffice to say, I'm pretty excited that we're getting this one across the line. The next one on the list that I want to talk about is inserting snippets into current file in VS Code. And so a few milestones ago, a few months ago, we adopted the GitLab workflow extension for VS Code, and the editor group has slowly been working to update that, do a bit of housekeeping, get some testing in place. We've been making steady releases and updates to the VS Code marketplace where extensions are distributed. We've also distributed the extension in several other marketplaces. And so we're finally in a position where we feel comfortable sort of with baseline functionality and other things, and we're going to introduce our first feature into the extension since we've taken over. And so currently the extension allows you to create a snippet. So if you highlight some code in VS Code and you've got the GitLab extension installed, you can open the command palette and you can do create snippet, and it'll automatically create a snippet from what you've highlighted. What we're going to introduce during 13.5 and release in the VS Code extension is the ability to insert a snippet. And so this will allow you to query your available snippets from a project and then insert those into the file you might be working on. And so this will be really valuable for teams that might have a standard piece of boilerplate code that they use in a lot of places, or have a function or helper or something that they might reference in lots of places. This will be a way to sort of quickly reference those and just paste that in without needing to go and find that and copy and paste it. You can just look through your snippets directly from VS Code and insert that. And so we're really excited not only to sort of bring more snippets functionality into other parts of GitLab, we're really excited to sort of deliver on our first feature for VS Code and for that extension as well. You know, the next one that I want to talk about is less of a feature and more of a sort of just an idea and concept that we've been working on and that we're pretty excited to keep moving forward. And we're going to keep working on this over multiple iterations. So you might see me talk about various things over other release kickoffs, but I wanted to at least highlight this effort. And so one of the things that we know about the Web IDE is there can be some performance issues with larger repositories or various activities that make it appear to feel sluggish. Sometimes it's view rendering, sometimes it's other things, but we're going to be doing some investigations in 13.5 into areas where we might be able to go and apply some fixes. But we've also got a new user timing API that we're going to put in, and we're going to dashboard that and start building up a data set to let us know sort of where users who are naturally using the product are experiencing these. And then we'll also be doing a discovery into the initial loading performance to see what options we have there to improve the performance. I'll link this epic down below in the video so you can see sort of what we're looking at, what we're investigating, and if you've got ideas or you've got thoughts, or if you are into performance and you notice something else, then feel free to comment and let us know. We'd love to you know, collaborate with anyone on this and see how we can work to make the Web IDE perform better for when you do want to use it and you want to use those tasks. The last one isn't feature related either, in the sense that we're not going to be delivering anything into the application in 13.5. What we are going to be doing is some investigations and design. And so merge request discussions in the Web IDE is something we've been thinking a lot about over the course of several months. We've been doing some user research, and we've been looking at ways that we can take the Web IDE and integrate it more into other parts of the application that users are using. So the merge request is a very central piece to GitLab, and the Web IDE is a sort of a core editing experience in GitLab. And so we're trying to marry those two things and see what we can do to help you if you're reviewing or responding to feedback or other things like that, where you might want to make an edit or make a change and have that be part of that merge request cycle. So in 13.5, we'll be looking at a few different things. And so one of these is sort of a foundational piece, which is going to be doing some design and investigation into linking to a single line number in the Web IDE. And so currently, if I want to share a file with you and I want you to open that in the Web IDE, I have to just share the whole file with you, and you can't know what line I'm talking about. In a file with thousands of lines, it would be hard. I'd have to tell you that, and then you'd have to scroll to get there. And so we're going to be looking into how we could, pass links into the Web IDE that would automatically place you and jump you to where you want to be in that file. So this is sort of foundational, that if we look back at a merge request and discussions in a merge request, you might comment on a specific line. And then when you want to go edit that line, being able to link to that line directly in the Web IDE and directly in an editor is really important, so that you can just be right there and make your edit and get out of that. So we're excited to go look at that, see what we can do there. The other thing that we want to start with here is showing merge request discussion icons in the Web IDE. And so as an early step to sort of continue to explore what merge request discussions might look like, or what kind of information we might be able to provide in the Web IDE, we want to look at sort of what kind of visual indication could we give you that there might be comments or content around the particular line of the file that you're looking at in relation to the merge request that branch could be scoped to. We're not looking to let you make comments or view those comments. We just want to help provide an extra visual indicator as you're thinking through or working through reviewing feedback that you might have gotten on a merge request, that you know that this is, there was at least something here. And so that way you can kind of click back over to the merge request and figure that out. So this will be a first step down that path. And so we're excited what opportunities this might open us up. So I'm really excited to sort of begin diving into the merge request, and how we can integrate that with the Web IDE. If that's something that interests you or you've got thoughts on that, I'll also link this epic down below so you can keep track of what we're doing or other thoughts or ideas that we have around this. But that is what 13.5 looks like for the editor group. It'll be a little light on sort of new features that we haven't talked about before, but we are going to try and get that multi-file snippets across the line. And so we're looking forward to it. And I think 13.5 is going to be the best release yet for the editor group. So thanks.